Bienvenue! It's golden hour here in the beautiful city of lights and love, Paris, and we're going to explore the Seine River and its mighty landmarks that are all along it. We're going to pass by the Eiffel Tower, which we're seeing there in the distance, and then later Notre Dame and everything in between. I'm Ariel. This is Urbanist. Let me know where we're watching from. Let's explore the mighty Seine. And we're starting to see all the bridges that cross this river. That made an excellent strategical point for it to be a major metropolitan area for most of its history, going all the way back to the ancient Romans when they first came here, and then to the Parisi, and then later on to the Vikings. Hello, Beatrice. Nice to see you here. We are at Bateau Parisien, which means Parisian boat. And this is part of the package that is offered by the tourism board of the region, Ile-de-France, at the airport. And it includes all the metro stops, all the railroads, and all the buses. Plus, you can get a ticket included for this cruise on the Seine River that's an hour long. Otherwise, prices are about 16 to 18 euro. Wow, look at that. Gorgeous decoration on the bridges. There, the beautiful Eiffel Tower. I'm indeed in Paris. It was not a green screen last video. I was not in a little Parisian neighborhood in Staten Island. This is the real deal, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Amanda. Nice to see you, Baja de Tijuana. Nice to see you here from Tijuana, Mexico. Bienvenidos. Where does the river go, says Adam? It goes more inland into France itself. Picard, nice to see you here. Let me know what's the starting point for the river. Hello, Roma. Nice to see you here. Welcome to the live video. Hello, Viorica. Marie Antoinette from Belgium. Oh, you're nearby. Marie Antoinette, let me know. Are you from the area of Belgium where they speak mostly French, or the area where they mostly speak Dutch/Flanders? Let me know. Erica says absolutely beautiful. Jimmy, you were born here in 1991. Oh, cool. Jimmy, were one of your parents in the military? Caitlin says the views are beautiful. Oh, yes. Perfect timing for golden hour. The sunset here is pretty late. So this was the 9 p.m. boat. And there are 1 to 2 more because the last when they close is 10:30 p.m. and it started right by the Eiffel Tower, so maybe about a 10-minute walk from the Eiffel Tower towards the banks of the River Seine is a huge docking area for all these boats. There's rides that include restaurant and food. There's ones that have a full bar. This one's more the basic one. I assume the other ones go a little bit slower as well. Hello, Leia. Nice to see you here. Welcome. Hello, Christina. Carmen says, miss Paris. Wish I was there again. Hopefully you can visit again. Christina says, ciao. You know, I was surprised to learn that you can say ciao also in French. I thought it was only an Italian thing. Jimmy says, I visited in 91. I was in the U.S. Army. Ah, cool. Manny says, bon voyage. Indeed. Here we have the other bus. I mean, not the bus. This is called the Bateau bus, and this is the other cruise on the Seine. This one's a bit more casual. This is a hop-on, hop-off type of deal. I took that back in 2019 and did a live stream. But this is the type of ride I would like. Where can I rent one of those? Rocky says, I was here in 1987. Oh, that's cool, Rocky. And there's a lot of restaurants here along the River Seine. Let me know if there's any great ones. Like last year, I was walking along the river Tiber in Rome, and I encountered a jazz club along the river Tiber in a boat restaurant. Ida says, goes fast, just like life, Ida. It goes in a flash. And before you know it, you're done. Adam says, how was Memorial Day? It was nice. I was working. I didn't do too much. I was filming videos for an upcoming partnership with Boulevard. And I was editing videos for Rise New York, which I'm going to appear on their TikTok soon. Henri, nice to see you. If you have a name that can be pronounced in French, I'm going to pronounce it in French. I know it's Henry, but Henri. I'm going to call you Henri while we're here in Paris. Clement says, remember that one waiter that scared you in Rome? Oh yes, the very aggressively nice waiter in the beautiful Jewish restaurant in Rome. Yeah. So here we have Museo d'Orsay that used to be a train station, one of the main train hubs. Just imagine coming into a train station like this. Wow. So there was a huge industrial boom when Paris, as we know it, was built. This was during the reign of Emperor Napoleon III. He hired Baron George Eugene Haussmann to wipe entire neighborhoods and rebuild them into his own image, into the imperial image of France during the industrial era. One of those buildings was this one right here, the main train hub in this area. Ryan says, do you prefer to sit in the starboard side of a ship? You know, I don't know ship terminology too well, so let me know what's the starboard side. Gary says, all you need to do is speak English in a French accent, and a lot of the words are the same. Well, it's like 30% of the words are the same. Not all, but quite a bit. Adamus says, is French and French Canadian the same? You know, as I was researching, a lot of linguists say that French Canadian sounds like Old French because it's actually 300 years or more. And there were significant changes to the French language during the Revolution, which was in the 1800s, late 1700s, early 1800s. So there is quite a difference between the two languages. I think a little bit more than American English versus British English. Let me know, for any French speakers, what is the difference between Québécois, which is French Canadian, and French. There's also major differences between French and Creole, which is spoken in Haiti. Wilmy Ronald, nice to see you here too. Laureen says, hey Ariel. And everyone, Paris, yeah, we are in Paris. If you pronounce the Netflix TV show Emily in Paris in French, it rhymes. A lot of people don't realize that. So it's Emily in Paris. Mavis says, greetings from Oregon, yeah. So custom among many people here in Paris is to have picnics along the Seine. So you have people bringing their beer, their wine. I think, if anyone can double check for me, I think it is legal to drink alcohol outside of an establishment. So if anyone can confirm. But yeah, people bring their bottle of wine, some baguettes, cheese, jam, and dine along the Seine. Louise says, love the Seine. Been there, done that. It is beautiful. Indeed. here we have a steel bridge. When was this one built? And is this the École des Beaux-Arts? Let me know. It looks very similar. Kristen, nice to see you here. Sigüena says, Ariel, bonsoir, mon ami. Bonsoir, mon chéri. Oh, look at that. Wow. Beautiful. Kay says, I'll settle for a couple tins of cider down the river. Yeah, me too. French cider, because I know they make some. Baby channel. Bonsoir, mon chéri. Nicole says, I hope for a sunset stream. Oh, yes. The sun is setting, and I am streaming. You know, when they say don't look directly into the sun, well, luckily we can do so directly with video and not harm our eyes too much. Oh, the power of video. Susie says, in order to speak a little bit of French, you'll say, ha ha ha, just then shrug your shoulders. There you go, you're French. That's the stereotype of the French as perpetrated. Alone. I am solo traveling right now, yes. CB says, good evening, Ariel. Paris is the most beautiful city in Western Europe. Thank you for showing the best part of Paris. My pleasure. Let me know how I say my pleasure in French. Oh, there we go. We got more people waving. Yeah. Hey, from Ukraine, Odessa. Hey, hope you're doing well. Hope your family's staying safe. Do let me know how to pronounce your name. I don't know how to read the Ukrainian/Russian alphabet, so let me know. Ryan says it's mon plaisir. Mon plaisir. Thank you so much. Fred says, tout le plaisir est pour moi. Pour moi. Trin, nice to see you here. Welcome. Trin, are you tuning in from Vietnam or Thailand? Let me know. Veronique says, I love golden hour. Oh, yes. Golden hour in the city of love. The stream is holding up better than England and Rome. Yeah, here they have free mobile, so if you're in Paris for longer than a few days, consider getting free. There's a kiosk in Les Halles, which is the main metro hub. But it's holding up well. Yeah, luckily Paris has good cell phone reception, which is awesome. I had to stream at 720p instead of 1080p because we're moving fast, but it's good. And thank you everyone who just become patrons. We have had a few more patrons tune in. Thank you so much. Joseph, nice to see you here. Welcome. Yeah. Hey, AAP, thank you again for your contributions. AAP has been sending PayPals. Thank you so much. AAP says, when you see the Statue of Liberty monument, underneath is where the tunnel that Princess Diana passed away. Thank you for reminding me, AAP. I did pass by the Statue of Liberty monument, and I was wondering what it was. So I'm gonna see if I can such a Ronald says, "This is taking you to Staten Island." Yes, this is the ferry to Staten Island right now. Joe says, any pizza places in Paris? Yes, there is. I saw a few highly rated ones. I'm tempted to try some Paris pizza. There's also pizza that you can buy in the boulangeries. So boulangerie, for anyone who doesn't know, means bakery. And there's some differences between a boulangerie and an American bakery. We'll get into that when I feature one again. But some of them do have a style of pizza, which is served room temperature. And of course, London, so you'll... Susie says, have you had dinner? I've had my dinner very early for French. Bonsoir. French after 9 p.m. I had my dinner very early, 5:30 p.m. It was really good. Dolly says, is the volume low or is it my device? I can put up the volume, let me know. Is it? It's not hitting French hop avocado. So, very popular, so there's a lot of avocado toast options, especially towards the center of Paris, and there's a few neighborhoods. I think we'll is the smell of the river. Pretty neutral. Bonsoir. Jen says, your family usually eats between 7:30 and 9, 7:30 and 8. Okay, 7:30 and 8. Wow, yeah, interesting. Thank you for letting us know. Well, I did notice that more casual cafes and bistros close like at 10:30, so I assume even in Paris, people are still a bit before. Mike said, I think the only place where they recreated Paris very similar to how it looks is in China. No, I'm neither in Japan nor in China. This is the real Paris. And no, this is not Epcot, where they also recreated Paris. Beatrice says, what's for dinner today? I already ate my dinner, ate it early. I'm a little bit jet lagged, so I got hungry a little bit earlier. I'll post a photo. I went to an amazing cafe called Café Suzette. Café Suzanne on the other side of Montmartre. The northern side, and I had boulette de boeuf, which means beef balls. I had beef balls with tomato and cheese sauce, so like a French version of vodka sauce. It was really cool. It was like a French vodka meatballs with some couscous, which is also very French. Yeah, it was really good. Highly recommend it. Café Suzanne. Roy says, Ariel in Paris? Indeed I am. So everyone, slam that like button right now, like the ferryman right now slamming on that. I'm not sure what you call the boat version of ignition. Slamming on the boat version of ignition, going high speed down the Seine River, like if we were in a Mission Impossible film. Slam that like button right now. Let me know if you're on Team Like. And share this video on Facebook or relevant Facebook groups. Rocky says, is it really 9:30 p.m.? Not yet. Not yet. It's not 9:30 p.m. yet. I mean, I think it is. Let me check. Yep. It's a little bit before 9:30. 9:28, 9:27. Ryan says, will you visit the tennis game? Is there a tennis game happening in Paris? Michael says, this is the most iconic place in the world. Changed my mind. It is indeed, but Michael, have you heard of Paris syndrome? Let me know if anyone has heard about it. Let me know if we have any Japanese viewers specifically, because this is very Japanese specific. Rocky says it's still daylight even though it's 9:30 p.m. Yep. I mean, we are much further north than New York and way, way further up north than LA. So yeah, here the sun sets a lot later. It sets around the same time as the people in Quebec City or Newfoundland. Susie says, ooh, nice watch. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Susie. I appreciate that. So, in Japan, Paris is painted to almost be this fairy tale-like city. The most beautiful city in the entire world. A city that cannot compare with anything else. Not even the most beautiful cities in Japan come close to Paris from the point of view of a Japanese person. And that's what they're told in media, that's what it's told in books, that's what they're told in documentaries, so on and so forth. Fortunately, as Japanese started getting very rich, the middle class, and started making a lot of money and started traveling all around the world, a lot of them came flocking to Paris. Like in the past few years before, especially before the pandemic, a lot of Chinese were coming. So that was Japanese back in the 70s and 80s, maybe a little bit earlier. And they started coming here in droves, but the thing is, a lot of them were so disappointed by Paris, seeing all the grit and grime, which luckily there's a lot less of now, and all the loud motorcycles and pickpockets and crime, that suddenly they had a nervous breakdown. They couldn't come into terms that their dream fantasy was never real. It was all farce. Paris was never the most beautiful city in the entire world of all existence. And they would just need psychological help after that. And that was called Paris syndrome. I'm not sure if people still suffer from today. Maybe people who come from China who idealize Paris as well, maybe. But be careful of Paris syndrome. Ron says, did I have Seattle syndrome? I never idealized Seattle, so no. Esfiel says, ooh la la. Oh yes, hopefully we'll catch a better view as we're going. The entire ferry is really packed, the entire cruise, so it's hard to even move around. AEP says, I send you a small PayPal enough for a croissant. Thank you so much, AEP. I appreciate that. If you enjoy this show or want to get bonus footage of museums, such as a few museums in Paris and other extended tours and everything that we've done in the past, Italy, Chicago, Seattle, Paris, Greece, etc. You can become a patron, patreon.com/urbanist. And if you become a mega urbanist, $20 or more, you'll get access to postcards. They'll be from Paris or wherever our next stop in June might be. A few other stops in June. Once a month, you'll be getting postcards from places all around the world. Whenever I travel, or from New York and local areas as well. And if you enjoyed the show and just want to give a one-time contribution, paypal.me/Ariel for these attractions, so I can bring it to you virtually. And there we go, we got a lot of people waving. Okay, nice to see you here. Welcome. Bienvenue, Berke. Kay says, catch Ariel's short videos of his travel. TikTok, at Ariel Vieira. Yeah. That'll be coming up soon. Alex asked me, have I posted a short video yet? Not yet. Stay tuned. Wow, this area is packed. Esfiel says, how was your flight to Paris? Calm, very calm. It was full. I ended up getting a free upgrade to Comfort Plus using Delta, which is basically like Economy Plus, if you're talking about other European terms. And the seats were comfortable. It was a new plane. It was easy boarding. And my baggage, I ended up doing the checked baggage and it got fine. The only thing is the line through immigration ended up being like an hour long. But that's expected in super major places like Paris or New York. Linda says, so many people, yes. And they did not require masks on board. So that seems to be a new policy now with all American airliners. I'm not sure if European airliners are doing that, but on Delta, they did not require it. And as it comes with showing the V Pass, I do not have a valid V Pass according to France because they require a booster shot. I decided not to get a booster. But luckily, to get in, all I had to show was a negative C test. I'm not going to say the full word. You can write it down in the comments because of YouTube policies. But yes, I had to show a C test, 72 hours, PCR. And luckily in the US, if you have health insurance, you get it for free at CVS or Walgreens. If not, then you might need to pay quite a lot. So do watch out if you are a tourist in Europe. Do budget for a negative C test if you need one to get back home, or American going to a European country. Arnold says, what's the cheapest hotel? I think the cheapest places you can stay in is an Airbnb. That's why I'm doing this for this city. Airbnb is the cheapest. Hotels are going to cost you more. Mr. Ramandika says, I'm low-key sad I never went. Oh no. Well, you can still come to Paris. It's never too late. So now we're doing the round trip to see. We'll visit another day. And a lot of patio chairs there. It's so cool. I love all the bars along the Seine. Let me know, local Parisians, what's the cocktail of choice in Paris? Ryan says I should consider the Hotel Ritz for your stay in Paris. Believe me, Ryan, I could if I would. If I had the budget, I would. or if they were to partner up with me, I would in a heartbeat. but not yet. Stay tuned. I will grow this show to millions and millions of viewers, and I will be featuring places like the Ritz-Carlton in Paris. Paul says, was the airport packed in Paris? Yeah, it was. Not pre-pandemic levels, but more packed than the past 2 years. Isabel says, does the water seem clean? Yeah, I would not swim in this water. I'll tell you a little bit about the water. Susie says, I'll have champagne. Oh yeah, of course. Carmen says, greetings from Guyana. Welcome, Carmen. Is it the French Guyana? Do let me know. French or the English? Penelope says, no speedboats on the Seine? I don't think so. Not like New York's East River. No speedboats. Miss Dramatica says, the funnest part of your lives is we can travel with you from the comfort of our own phones. Yep, that's why I do it. I gotta go there. That looks so cool. That is the Hotel, forgot. Let me know. What's the name? So, the Seine River. There used to be a sea creature that would linger in the bottom, in the depths of the Seine. And this was the food for the poorest residents of Paris. If you were caught eating this, and if you were of any other class, if you were of the bourgeoisie, or if you were nobility, or the high class, or prime ministers and presidents, or an artist like Degas, you would be shunned from society. Well, maybe not permanently, but just for a few days, maybe for a few hours, you'll be shunned. You'll be a social pariah. That's a hard word to pronounce. A social outcast. What was that food? Let me know in the comments. What was that food? Now, anyone else that wasn't, unfortunately, of low income would not be called dead eating back in the, say, about the 1600s, 1700s. Ooh, look at that. Michael says crab. That would be an excellent guess. Lobster is an excellent guess. That lobster, that was the case in the US, not the case here. Lobster is not native to this area of the world. So not lobster. Kay says oysters. Oysters kind of, that's a good guess. Definitely more the case also in New York. Shrimp, says Miss. Another great guess, not quite. Peggy got it right. Veronica says salmon. Salmon also kind of more US side. But Peggy got it right. That, ladies and gentlemen, the food of the poorest of the poor. People in a restaurant like this would not be eating that. It would be caviar. It's the worst food, at least according to the high class of Paris. But the animal that they get caviar from, sturgeon, started getting extinct. It was an endangered animal. And suddenly they end up realizing, oh, wait a minute, we're going to run out of caviar. So the poor of Paris couldn't get caviar anymore. And suddenly it became the rich people food. Suddenly they started serving it at the fanciest parties in Paris, maybe at the Ritz-Carlton, maybe at that hotel building I showed earlier. Yeah. Caviar went from the worst of the worst to the best of the best. And then eventually all the rich people also ate the caviar and it went extinct in the Seine River and they had to get sturgeon from other places. Ron says, will you be ghosting Macron like you did Boris? Macron does seem like a cool guy to hang out with, just like Boris. No politics, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, the French Prime Minister does seem like a cool guy to hang out with. I don't like his hoodie policy though. I'm not too big of a fan of wearing hoodies. Mike says, are you traveling all around Asian countries now? Mike, I think you're seeing a different video with my audio on it. Is this what I think it is? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, name this building the most iconic museum in the world. This museum houses some of those most prized artworks in all of history. Such artworks that recently, unfortunately, got caked. A terrible incident where someone dressed in a wig rushed over to this prize painting and slammed a bunch of cake on it. Following a long tradition of trying to vandalize this artwork. Name this building and that artwork. Jen says the Louvre. Yes, the Louvre. And Ryan is right. The Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa, unfortunately, recently was caked on. Just like a skit from the Three Stooges. Luckily, she survived because there's bulletproof glass on it, covering her, so cake ain't getting through. And people are asking, am I going to the Louvre? You'll see videos there, yeah. May they be short, may they be long. There'll be a video in the Louvre. And as you can tell, the Louvre is hella long. It's a very, very, very long building. Inspire Life says, this is exciting. Yes, it is. Miss Dramatica says, very unnecessary caking. Yeah. I agree. Macaulay says, Ariel, I remember watching your older videos of the Louvre in 360. Yep, I have some of those videos on my main Urbanist page. So search Paris Urbanist, they'll pop up. Or on my second page, which is Urbanist Bonus. Rocky says, that individual that caked the Mona Lisa was saying, let her eat cake. Maybe. Isn't that where they have the glass pyramid of I. M. Pei? Yes. Famous American architect I. M. Pei designed a pyramid that's right in the middle of this. That apparently is where you can find the blood lineage of Mary Magdalene, according to the Da Vinci Code. Ah, that's a good TikTok. I gotta tell that story. Susan says the weather seems nice. It is. Rocky says it's 71 degrees Fahrenheit in Paris. Oh yes. Esfiel says so. It's not only Emily in Paris, no. It's also Ariel in Paris. Inspire Life says, I think the famous Ariel Vera painting is in the Louvre. Yes, I think so. Dia says, have you had any truffles or foie gras? Not yet, but I will. Truffles, yeah, truffles is a French thing as much as it is an Italian thing. Foie gras, yeah, I think I will. I know a lot of people are going to give me hell for eating foie gras. But I'll find the most humane foie gras I can find. A duck that lived a very good life. That's the type of foie gras I'll find. Macaulay says, so sad what happened to Notre Dame. Yeah, it is very sad. Notre Dame has gone through a lot of terrible circumstances. The water looks green. I think the water is green, not just because of the trees. Someone's sneezing right above me. It's a little bit annoying. Yeah. So here, the banks of the river, they actually protect the river from overflowing. However, these banks weren't enough because in 1910, the worst flood in Parisian history happened. It got very, very high, even covered a 20-foot statue that is along the Seine. Ron says, how's the crack in Paris? There's not that much crack in Paris. You know, this is... I don't think there's a big Irish community here. Gikata says, are you live? Gikata, I've done this live many years ago, but I knew you would tune in many years later. What you're seeing is Paris from 2015, a long time ago. Thank you for tuning in the future, Gikata. Ryan says the Seine does overflow on occasions. Yeah, let me know. Has it passed the banks in recent history? Esfield says you're a visionary. Thank you, Esfield. Inkspire Life says, is Paris feature any Marvel films? That's a good question. I don't think it's been featured in a Marvel film yet. If anyone knows, do let me know. In the TV shows, Captain America and the Winter Soldier features Germany mostly. Moon Knight features London. Spider-Man as well. I don't think Paris has been featured in the Marvel films. That's a travesty. SPL says, are you jet lagged? I am jet lagged. It hit me this time. A car got stuck on the boat. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens when you drink and drive. Don't do it, otherwise you'll end up on the boat and spill your drink. Ron says, what surprised you in Paris now? You know, I haven't seen too much of it yet. It's been a bit slow for me. I got a lot of jet lag, so I was sleeping most of the day. And yesterday as well. I slept almost all day yesterday, so not too much Paris yet. Ask me all those Paris questions Saturday. I think Saturday I'll give you a better response to many of these Paris impression questions. DS says the G.I. Joe movie was in Paris. Oh, yes, it was, yeah. Paul Hoffer says, is Germany or Croatia on your travel list? Stay tuned. There'll be places both known and unknown, both far and near, both cold and hot, both humid and cool, and dry as well. We'll be going all around the farthest reaches of Europe, the very edges of the continent, to the most interiors of the continent as well. So we're going to a lot of places. So, short answer, stay tuned. How many months are you away from New York City this time? 2 months are planned thus far. Third month is still up in the air. Ryan says, good luck on finding dry in Europe. I mean, Europe has to have a desert. Is there a desert in Europe? I hope so. Sicily. Sicily is a is a dry area of Europe. Malta as well, pretty dry. Greece, there's a lot of dry in Europe, Mike. Penelope says, I had a terrible jet lag when I went to Paris. Feel for you. Yeah, it happens sometimes. Especially a city like Paris, I would recommend taking it very slow. This is a big city. It's like New York. It's big. It can get overwhelming. And also, if you're traveling from the US or a place that's more than like 6 hours travel, do account for jet lag. Because you may have it, you might not have it. But if you do have it, you're probably going to lose a day, which is okay if you plan for a week or more. If you plan for less than a week, then that day, it's going to suck if you lose it. So I would say plan for a little bit more than a week, if you can. If you can't, drink a lot of coffee. DS says, one must understand Ariel works in mysterious ways. Yes, I want to take you on an adventure where you don't know where I'm going. I kind of like that fun out of it. Let me know if it's fun or torture or indifference or a mixture of fun torture. Let me know. What is it for you to not know where we're going, but we're going nonetheless? That's cool. Old school boat, old school captain's hat. Jeanette says, how long is the river? Do let me know. Anyone can find out right now. Gary says, don't go up too far up the Seine. You'll end up at the English Channel, and the next step is the River Thames. Touche, Gary, touche. Linda says, I think it's fun. I'm glad you think so, Linda. The name of the bridge we just passed is the Port Alexander III. That one? Thank you. And then one of these, the oldest bridge we also passed. It was when we passed Notre Dame. Selwyn says, can you go one day to Paris, spend one entire day in Paris without any pastries? Selwyn, I have a counter question to that. Can you spend one day without breathing? Can you spend a lifetime without love? Can you eat without food? I don't know. I think it's clear as day that no, it's impossible to go one day in Paris without a beautiful pastry. Susan says, hope you don't need to walk all the way back. Luckily, there's a metro system here in Paris. The metro system runs until about 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m., and then starts again around 5 a.m. Jeanette says, where did you get off, Ariel? Where did you get off with making these live videos? Oh, Jeanette means like, literally, where do we get off? Oh, so we get off, we get off of the Eiffel Tower, and we get on the Eiffel Tower, we get off the Eiffel Tower. It's a round trip. Ryan says that there's also the RER. Yes, I think I'm going to ride the RER at some point. And here we have another boat tour. This is Boot Bateau Muches. I don't think pronouncing this in Spanish is going to help. So it's not, unfortunately, I'm coming to terms, ladies and gentlemen, that the French is not like Italian. You cannot pronounce these words in Spanish and get away with it. Macaulay says the S is silent. Yep, just like most letters in the French alphabet are silent. I think half of the word is silent. Chris says, what time is it in Paris? What time is it? Oh. It's not focusing. Oh. It's 9:50. Charlotte says, Moosh, it's the boat of flies. Oh, cool. Finebone says, why is there still light and it's almost 10 p.m.? Well, Finebones. First, let's talk about latitude. The world is one gigantic sphere, as opposed to contrary to popular conspiracy theory. The world is round, it's a sphere, and on the sphere we have different latitudes. Some countries are more north or more south. The more north you are, or the more south you are, the lighter it ends up getting, the longer the days are during summertime. In the northern hemisphere, the more north you are, the longer the days are, the more. So New York is on a lower latitude than Paris. Paris is on a higher latitude. New York is about the same latitude as Morocco, as Egypt. There it is. There's a monument there that looks very similar to the flame of the Statue of Liberty. Jen says, how long is this boat ride? Jen, we have to appreciate every second right now because we only have about 8 minutes left on this boat ride. It's only an hour boat ride. So take in every single second, every single moment. Breathe it in to the fullest extent. Camilla says, will you take the tour bus? I do have a ticket for it, so stay tuned. Ooh, what is this? AP says, Ariel, a nice 8-minute short, exhilarating, romantic video about Paris in the morning. It's 1976, Setat Rendezvous by Claude Leoch. Ooh, I will check it out. Thank you so much for the recommendation to check out the short film. Camilla says, I wonder if there's a night tour. Yes, the last tour is at 10:30. So if you take the very last tour, it will be at night. And I think the other services like Bateau Bus, right now we're on Bateau Parisien. There's another service called Bateau Bus, and there's Bateau Muches. Mouche, and those might have night tours. Tea with Helen says, this looks great, Ariel. I'm glad you think so. Darshan says, when are you going to the Eiffel Tower? You know, I've never been to the Eiffel Tower. I've been to Paris already twice before. This is my third time. I did not go the first 2 times because I've heard it's not that worth it because you don't see the Eiffel Tower from the Eiffel Tower. It might be worth it to ride those elevators, but the elevators are not going to be original. So it might be worth it. But a lot of people recommend actually going to the Arc de Triomphe or Tour de Montparnasse, the huge skyscraper in Paris, in order to see the best views of Paris, or Sacre Couer in Montmartre, as we did today. Ida says we can hear the water, yeah, trickling right down there. Ron says, are you having a rendezvous with the Scottish lass in Paris? No comments, no comments. Jeanette says, how many languages do you speak? Well, I know English. I know like a few words in Tagalog, which is Filipino. I know Spanish, fluent Spanish, and I can speak Italian using Spanish. French, I don't know. Only 2 languages fluently. I can speak Canadian. I know what Canadian is all about, so I can speak that. Terry says, I love the latitude. Stays light much longer in the northern Minnesota. Ah, yes. Ooh, there's like an event here. Look at this. A conference. That's interesting. Penelope says, I didn't go to the Eiffel Tower either. Funny. Yeah, it gets very packed. You end up spending a few hours in order to just get inside because it's such a popular tourist attraction. And then you get up and you can't see the Eiffel Tower because you're on it. So that's why a lot of tourists, tour experts, Rick Steves, there's a few vloggers here like Jay Swanson, have all recommended to not bother going. But I think it is worth it for the historic value. It's like going on the Empire State Building. Yeah, you might go on and not see the Empire State Building, but it's still a really cool building to go up. Mylene says, what French foods have you enjoyed? Croissants, baguettes, and quiche. I'm obsessed with quiche. I don't think a day will pass by and I won't eat a quiche. So stay tuned. I might do a quiche video. 30 minutes of just me eating quiche. That's it. No words. No history. No talking. Just eat. Just quiche. Penelope, did you go up to Sacre Couer? No, I did not. A, I'm not sure if it's open. And B, it was a lot of steps. So now right now, maybe I'll go back. Ooh, there's high-rises down there. What area is this? Let me know in the comments. I gotta investigate this. I didn't know Paris had a new neighborhood with high-rises. Darshan says, have you tried cheese yet? Not yet, not yet. Stay tuned. I might do a cheese video at some point. We'll do a very cheesy video for everyone. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Cue the music by Jacques Brel. or the beautiful score of Jan Tiersen from Anneli. Here we have La Tour Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower, built for the 1899 Paris Exposition. It was meant to just be a temporary structure in order to show the industrial might of Paris, being an industrial power on the European stage. So Gustave Eiffel designed this beautiful tower that had a different color. I think it was like a reddish initially. And then Parisians hated it. Actually, a lot of architectural critics said it was the worst thing that they've ever seen. It was a blight upon this city, and they wanted to destroy it. But then World War I hit. And suddenly they found out, wait a minute, you could put a gigantic antenna up there and send radio signals. And also, that's a good lookout point. So they kept it for World War I. And they were tempted to destroy it again. Because they were like, oh, World War I ended, we won. It's okay, we can destroy it. Germans are going to stay quiet. But then World War II happened. And they realized, wait a minute, we can build an even bigger antenna. And also send some bigger, longer radio waves, connect with our fellow Americans, and have a beautiful lookout point. So it stayed. And here we are. Now the very last ride is empty. This ferry that we went was packed, but here the line is much shorter. So if you want a calmer ride, come for the last one at night. I'll show you the boat from outside. That was the ride, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everyone for tuning in. That was Bateau Parisien. Right there. Merci. There was an indoor area right over here, so you can sit down comfortably. I think there was wheelchair accessibility. I saw someone definitely get on with a stroller, so I think there's wheelchair accessibility. And let me mute for a little bit. Wendy says, I want coffee. Can we have coffee? It's a bit late for coffee. That would make jet lag way worse. But there is wine and beer around. So this is the entire area for Bateau Parisien. And they even have a restaurant and everything. Let me know, any boat experts, what is this area called? Is it docks? Or is it slips? There's a specific name for area along the riverside like this. And look at this, oh my God. La Torre Eiffel, the Eiffel Tower. Torre Eiffel. Sylvia says, I love the scratchy sound. Oh no, there's a scratchy sound. Trish says it's Le Loc. And we got fellow entrepreneurs here selling wine and beer. Opilous says, bonsoir. Bonsoir. Opilous. Kay saying that they are called docks. Thank you. Do you have plans for a 194-course meal on this trip? Oh, Paris is the center of Michelin star restaurants. I gotta see if there's one that's affordable. Stay tuned. If anyone has any recommendations for Michelin star restaurants that's really good and below $200, I would say below $250, then I might try it. Mylene says, watch out for pickpockets. Indeed, yes, do watch out for pickpockets. Wow. Joseph says, I just read a book about World War II. I'm not going to say his name too much because YouTube is very sensitive with that word, Facebook too, unless if it's really worth it. But the Big H wanted to destroy Paris. He sent in the orders, but one of his commanders or generals decided not to follow those orders. He couldn't. He just couldn't bear with it. So he actually went against his Führer and kept Paris alive. So give thanks to a defiant German general. Wow. Now that's a sight to see. I don't know how they want to destroy this in this first place. Imagine being a 1900 Parisian and thinking that this structure is ugly. It boggles my mind. This is... I can imagine why people say some skyscrapers today are ugly, because they're square, they're geometric, there's not that much going on, but this is so beautifully curved. Just so wonderfully curved, beautiful steel work, as curvaceous as one of Degas' French girls. And I love the Eiffel Tower brown that they use now. Caitlin says, how would they call it ugly? I don't know how they would call it ugly. I don't know how they would call it ugly. True, it boggles my mind. Architectural critics, the Parisian public, Parisian officials, they all thought it was ugly. Hey.
What is it?
the Eiffel Tower.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Have a great day.
Really?
Bye-bye.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye-bye.
Are you vlogging?
I am indeed, yes.
Yeah, in live.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Have a great day. So look at, oh, sorry. Alright. So the downside is you can't walk through the Eiffel Tower. You actually have to buy tickets in order to get up closer to it. TB says, "Are you okay?" This dude's being rude, so I wasn't going to entertain them. That's why I just said bye immediately. They were, as you say in the American way, you're shooting the shit. But when someone shoots the shit to a, that's why I said bye immediately. CB says it was scary. No, they weren't scary. They were just fooling around. So no, it wasn't a scary situation. Don't worry. I wasn't gonna show their faces either. So. I'm gonna say all the time. Shoot. Russian. You do that with friends. You don't do that to a random stranger on the street. That's just annoying. So here we have the light that revolves around the Eiffel Tower. It's a little bit faint. It'll be more clear if you see it further away during nighttime. Jen says, "Are you gonna find something to snack on?" No, I'm a bit full. Kay says, "Remember the guys that wanted to give you a lift at that time?" Indeed, indeed. It was, I think the two guys, I think they were German, and we had a very similar run-in to a German guy in Ireland. So, yeah. Rush Hour was my favorite movie set in Paris. Ron, is there a Rush Hour 4? No, I don't think I've ever seen it. You might be referring to Rush Hour 2, or Rush Hour 3 is set in Paris. All right, let's see how long a line is for the Eiffel Tower at this time. So one of the main reasons why Paris is the city of lights is because of these lights that we see here. Not because of electricity. True, the city of electric light should go to New York. That takes the title because New York is where electricity really got started. But before electricity really became commonplace was the gas lighting. And this was uniform gas lighting. They put it all around the city. Hundreds, maybe even more, thousands of lamps all around the city, illuminating the entire city before the dawn of electricity during the era of Edison and Nikola Tesla. Hence it got its nickname, the City of Light. Peggy says, "Warning, the little spastic Eiffel Towers can cause seizures." So don't look don't look directly at them if that's the case. If you're photosensitive, don't look at the Eiffel Tower little Eiffel Tower souvenirs that light up. So the line is not that long, so maybe it's worth coming to Eiffel Tower late at night. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen, late at night. Eileen says the accident spot is still covered in flowers. What's the accident spot? What happened? That's cool. It's similar to the Empire State Building, where the later you go, the less the line is. Have you seen the movie Before Sunset? The movie Before Sunset takes place here. Yes, it's a great, great film. So yeah, I highly recommend watching Before Sunset. It's a great film that's shot in very few takes. I think it was only 16 to about maybe 30 takes that they did. Very few for a film. Makes it feel like it was just one conversation of two people walking through Paris. It's a breathtaking film starring Ethan Hawke. So if you want to get in the mood for Parisian videos, then check out Before Sunset. That's an American film though. For the French version, watch Amélie. That's a great movie as well. Trisha says also watch 2 Days in Paris. And Danny says, bro, Paris is a nice city. Yes, it is. So sad. Years ago, you could walk all around under the Eiffel Tower. I remember I first came here in 2013. I think it was 2013 I first came here. And yeah, you could get closer to it. But now it's covered in glass. Now you gotta wait much, you gotta buy a ticket to get inside. And Amélie, great niece's name. Oh, that's so cool. That's awesome. It's a holiday in Paris. Oh, we hear French reggaeton playing in the distance. So thank you everyone so much for tuning in here by the Eiffel Tower. I'm Ariel. This is Urbanist. If you want to see more videos, tune in Thursdays through Saturdays at 3 p.m. Paris time, French time, Western European time, 2 p.m. UK time, 4 p.m. Eastern Europe, 9 a.m. New York, 6 a.m. LA. So I know a lot of LA people, Seattle people, can't wait to see a 6 a.m. live video. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in. If you want to become a patron, go to patreon.com/urbanist. So I can, you'll see museums, you'll see extended tours of the short videos I do and many other bonus content. So that is, there's something here giving me allergies. Lots of trees in this city, which is beautiful. Patreon.com/urbanist. Everyone, see you in other places in Europe. Who knows where we'll go next? There'll be more Paris videos, more France videos, and then other places beyond. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a great day, everyone. Au revoir. A bientôt. I love that one as well. Maricela sent 200 stars. Oh, thank you so much. A bientôt. Au revoir.